Welcome to part 6 of this inner movement series, functional fascial movement from the feet up. In this routine, we explore the powerful connection between the feet and your deep core line. This is the fascial line that begins in the big toe, travels along up the inner thigh, over the pelvis, your diaphragm, your chest, your tongue, and up and over your head. You're going to need a soft and hard reflex ball if you have both, and a circle resistance band, as well as a foam roller. We're going to release the restrictions in the body. We're going to improve fascial glide and hydration. We're going to activate and integrate the whole body. Expect slow, focused, and functional movements designed to restore balance, stability, and core strength. If you're ready to experience how your feet shape your body's function and ease, then join me in this routine. We're going to start with that hard reflex ball and bring it onto the big toe, roll along the inside of that foot over the arch to the heel. So just focus on this line, big toe, arch to the heel, and try and stand right over the ball so you can apply as much weight nice and slowly into that reflex ball. You can bring the ball into the arch of the foot and just circle the ball in one direction, and then you're going to change direction. Then we're going to move the ball onto the other foot. So from the big toe to the heel, nice and slowly rolling over the arch and back to the big toe. When you are ready to bring the ball into the arch of the foot, circle it in one direction, and then you're going to change direction. You can put the ball to the side. Just standing with feet slightly wider than hip distance, we're going to push the big toes into the mat. Lift the little toes. You can use your hands to assist and come back up to standing if you need to. And then you're going to push the little toes down, lift the big toes up. So let's just wake up that connection between the brain and the feet. Big toes up, little toes down. So just keep alternating big toes to little toes. Do another 2 and another 1. Okay, stand lengthways on your mat, and you're going to pinch the mat between the ball of the toes and the foot, or the toes and the ball of the foot. Pull those toes towards you and lift up. So if you look at my one foot, I'm lifting up in the arch of the foot. So I want to work the toes and I want to work the arch of the foot. We need to get our feet out of our shoes. We need to strengthen those muscles in the feet. So moving into that lifted position of the arch and releasing. Try not to crunch the toes up too much. Try and let them slide up and then release. Do another 2. You should feel your glutes activating to stabilize you in that lifted position. Focus on a nice upright posture so you're not looking down. Keep the chin up and keep looking ahead. Okay, from here, we're going to lean forward into the toes. And if you look from this angle, try not to crunch your toes up again. Try and focus on pushing into the big toes. So really activating the big toes to challenge your balance. Lean your body forward and then release. I'm going to turn to the side again. open up, be aware of your toes and try and open the toes up and spread them out and then release. Keep going, pushing forward. You obviously need to look down and see what's going on and then look up. But if you have a mirror, then you can focus on keeping that posture nice and lifted and then see what's going on so you don't have to look down. We're going to do another 3, pushing forward. Relax those toes as much as you can and release. 2. As you lean forward, so you're opening up across the front of the body, breathe in and then exhale and release. And try and focus on breathing through that nose. Let's just do one more with that breath and then release. Okay, standing a little bit further back on your mat. Keep going. We're going to work into those arches again. So we're now going to work 1 foot at a time. Pinch the ball of the foot over the mat. So you're pinching the mat between the ball of the foot and the toes. When you reach the front of your mat, rise up onto the balls of the feet and walk back to the beginning. Now we're going to combine those 2 movements. So 1 foot at a time, pinching and pulling forward. And now hold it here. And you're going to slide the toes towards the heel, lifting up the arches. And you do this with both feet at the same time. Okay, so that now we're going to spread the toes out and lean forward into that movement, squeezing the glutes to help stabilize you. So you see how much you have to focus on activating those core muscles. Remember, your glutes are part of your core to lean yourself forward. Lock your knees, so pull up right into the hips and lift yourself up and out. So breathing in and exhaling. Let's leave it there. Pinch and pull yourself forward on the mat, 1 foot at a time. And repeat the same thing, lifting both of the arches at the same time. And leave it there. Spread the toes out, big toe, butt. Think about the bees. Big toes, butt, engaging. You're pulling the shoulder blades together, so you're opening up across the front of the chest. Keep your eyes looking forward and release. And the breath. So big toes, glutes, buttocks, breath, shoulder blades opening up, eyeballs, the 5 B's, and exhale. We're going to do 2 more. Breathing in, pushing into the big toes, butts engaged, opening up, and exhale, and release. 1 more time, and exhale. Okay, finishing off, we're going to pinch and pull again to the front of your mat. When you get to the front of your mat or just before it, you're going to lift both arches at the same time. And just 1 more. Try relax the toes now, spread them out. Big toes, breath, butt, blades, eyeballs, and exhale and release. Do it again. We'll do 3 more. Opening up and exhale. And breathing in and exhale. Your last one. And exhale. Okay, staying on your feet. Take your right foot and bring it in front of your left. bring the heel to the toes. Posture again, nice and lifted. Much easier to engage your glutes when you're in a nice upright posture. You should feel your back foot working hard to stabilize you. And make sure your toes are facing forward. This is another good one if you have a mirror to see that alignment in the feet. Make sure one foot is behind the other and your back foot is not turned in or out, or the front foot for that matter. So standing here, just let your breathing normalize. And if your glutes are engaged, they're also going to help you stabilize yourself. So you're looking at your balance again. Big toes will help you with your balance. Now you're going to lift your back foot and we're going to balance on the front foot. Then you're going to take your opposite hand and we're going to bend the knee and just tap down on the little toe. So get a little bit of a rotation into the movement, and then you're coming up. So breathe in as you come up and exhale through the nose as you go down. Now you're going to really have to engage your big toe for this one, because we're going to look down at the mat, and that's going to challenge our stabilizers even more. So you're going to exhale on the way down. Now when you get there, drop your chin and see how much more you have to work to keep your balance. Now breathe in and come up. If your stabilizers are not cooperating, you can take that big toe and bring it onto the mat, that lifted foot. We're going to do 2 more. Exhale. Tap the toe and breathe in. And you've got 1 more. Exhaling. Hold it there. Look at your knee. Big toe really engaged. And you should feel your ankles working hard to stabilize you. Let's just shake it out a little bit. Maybe give that ankle a little bit of a circle. And then we'll go over to the other side. Either big toe or foot lifted. You're in a nice upright position. Breathe in. On your exhale, you can bend that knee slightly. Really engage that big toe and drop down. Tap the little toe. Look at your knee and then come up. Breathe in and exhale. Spread the toes out, but really engage that big toe. 2 more. Breathing in and exhale. And your last one, exhaling. And breathe in. Good, and let's loosen up. Just circle that ankle as well. Take your foam roller, bring it across the mat, and we're going to sit on the foam roller and we're going to release the glutes. So we are focusing on the deep front line, but remember that the glutes are part of your core. So we want to engage them, we want to release them to make it easier to activate them. So I'm threading my fingers between my toes, and then I'm going to sit on the foam roller, lift my foot and roll into the lower back and over the glutes. If your hips are very tight, then you can bring the feet side by side. Take the opposite hand onto the outside of the knee. Make sure you're getting right into that lower back. So find your option, and we're going to work slowly into this release. Biggest muscle group in the body, so try and cover that area. Keep going, another 2. And 1 more. And release. Let's rock over to the other side. So reposition yourself. Feet side by side. Ankle over the knee. Thread the fingers between the toes. and lift that foot up. Okay. Keep going, 4 more. And 3. 2 more. And your last one. Okay, release the toes if your fingers are between them and just sitting on that foam roller. Here we're going to come into the face and up and over the head. So take your fingers and spread your fingers out, and you're going to now move the scalp. So you're putting pressure on the scalp, and then you're going to just wiggle it forwards and back, pushing into the scalp and moving it. So you're going right up and over the head. You can move the hands around, so the balls of the fingers in different areas, just moving the scalp. So we're hydrating the fascial tissue. So think about each muscle made up of muscle fibers that make up a muscle group, muscle bundle. Each of those fibers has fascial tissue. So we want to hydrate as much as possible to get movement. Then we're going to work underneath the chin, the muscles on either side of the throat. We're going to stretch them. So imagine you Popeye, puffing on your pipe. You're going to just slide the fingers down as you extend your chin forward. You can push your tongue onto the palate of your mouth. That'll make it easier to lengthen forward and also give that tongue some movement. Exhale, push forward, and release. Tuck the fingers under the jaw and slide them down. Do another 2 and 1 more. While we're in the seated position, just wrap the hand around the back of the neck and rotate the head. Breathing in and exhale. So as I look over my opposite shoulder, the same hand is wrapped around the back of the neck. I'm breathing in here. And then as I look over the other shoulder, I'm exhaling. Keep going, breathing in and exhaling. Let's do 1 more. And release. Coming into a seated position, we're going to take the resistance band and bring it around the big toes. So you can use the foam roller just to assist you stay in that nice lifted and upright posture. You can extend the roller and squeeze the shoulder blades together, pushing the band apart. So keep the resistance in the band, and you're going to rotate. So you're fanning the feet out. If you see it from this angle, you're fanning the feet out. But you're going to keep your legs in an extended position, and you want to start feeling it on these glute muscles here in the butt and into the arch of the feet. This is a great strengthening exercise for the arches of the feet. As we age, those arches often drop, so we want to move them, keep them strong. The more you wear cushioned shoes, the more your feet start relying on that cushioning, and then those muscles start to get lazy. So we need to really work them. Keep going. We're going to do another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it in that open position and release. Put the band to the side, lie on your back and bring the neck onto the foam roller. You can relax your arms at your sides and just nod your head from side to side. So loosen up in the neck. You're now going to hold your head to one side and keep that bony process behind the ear in the mat, in the roller, and you're going to circle the nose. Draw a circle with the nose. Be aware of what's happening in the opposite shoulder. Try and push that shoulder down. And then you're going to reverse the circle with the nose. Let's do the same thing to the other side. Nod your head and circle the nose. Change direction. Coming back to the center, bring your arms next to your ears. So we're just going to release the top of the arm, the deltoid muscles, and you're going to lift your tailbone. So it's a bit of a seesaw motion. Tailbone up and tailbone down. So do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll down onto the mat, hug the knees, rock up to a seated position, and just bring the shoulder blades onto the foam roller. Link your hands, bring your hands on the back of your head just to make sure you're not putting strain in the neck. You want to support the head and the neck. Let's open up, lift the tailbone, and roll over the shoulder blades. Okay, let's get a little bit deeper into this release. We're going to roll on one shoulder blade, so rock yourself over to one side. This is not part of the deep core line, but we're going to open up over the deep core line. And we want to release tension around this area, because if we, in a stress, fight or flight breathing pattern, then we're putting a lot of strain on these muscles around the neck, the shoulder blades. Let's rock over to the other side. If you do have a lot of tension in this area, just keep both shoulder blades on the foam roller. 4 more. And 3. And you will now come back to the center and bring the foam roller to the base of the shoulder blades. Now we're going to open up over the diaphragm, over the chest, over the front of the body. So your feet are flat, don't have them too far away from your tailbone, and we're going to open up over the foam roller. If this position makes you dizzy, if you've got a low blood pressure, then just make the movements smaller. So you're opening up into your arch, breathing in. Take it a little bit further if you can. And then exhale into your tuck. So in this tuck position, I'm pushing my lower back down into the mat as much as possible and bringing my ribs closer to my hip bones. So I'm shortening in the front of the body, but we're coming into a concentric contraction. So focus on exhaling, exhaling. So think of your breath as what's bringing you back into this position. Now you're arching from the lower back, tailbone starts, and then your head will follow as far as you can take it. Open up if you can. Get a nice stretch across the front of the body. Exhale to your tuck. Now, if your lower back is pushing into the mat, then you're going to lift your feet. But if you lift the feet and your lower back comes into this position, then rather keep the feet on the mat. You can alternate feet if you want to, But the most important thing is to keep that lower back pushing down so you're not putting strain on that lower back in this position. Let's breathe into arch. Open up. Exhale. Now you need to keep exhaling, and you can lift the feet. You can run the feet. And then you're going to drop down again. Then when the feet are back on the mat, you can open up. You can bounce that upper body if you want to, increasing the lengthening out in the front line of the body, hydrating the fascia. A nice slow and steady breath. Let's do another 2, breathing into arch. Exhale, push the lower back down, then the head will follow. Run the feet or alternate, 1 foot at a time. If you need to keep one down, there's 1 more to go. Breathing in and exhale. And run the feet. Good. From there, you're going to hug the knees into the chest and rock yourself to a seated position. We're coming around onto the hands and knees, and we're now going to work the abdominal muscles. We're going to release the diaphragm. So bring your foam roller onto your belly button. If you can, you're going to take the upper body down, resting your forehead on your hands. And we're going to breathe into this movement. So breathing creates movement. As you breathe in, you should feel the back on either side of the spine releasing. As you exhale, just melt into that foam roller. If you're not comfortable in this position, work without the foam roller. Breathe in and exhale. Keep going, just another 2. Nice slow steady breath in for about 4 counts. As you exhale, try and exhale for 4 to 6 counts. Finish off with 1 more, breathing in and exhale. Come up onto your elbows. Hold onto the foam roller to stop it moving. Work directly onto the skin if you can, and you're going to shear the belly button from side to side. So we want to not only work in one direction, we want to try and work in as many directions as we can. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, from there we're going to, before we do the next one, we're going to bring the foam roller onto the front of the legs, and we're going to roll over the knees if possible. If there's too much strain in the knees, you just work above them. Otherwise, you're working all the way from the knees to the hips. Walk the elbows if you need to. Otherwise, try and keep the elbows in one position. As you lengthen back, opening up, you're breathing into that space. Exhale as the roller goes down to the knees. Breathing in and exhale. Be careful that this is not happening. Keep the belly button lifted and the feet down. Then you should get a little bit deeper into that release. If you want to get deeper, you can bend the knees and put them, the front of the legs, into a little bit more of an extended position to get a bit deeper into the release. Do another 2. And 1 more. Okay, pushing onto the hands and knees. We're now going to reposition the foam roller next to the mat. And you're going to bring your knee onto the foam roller. So try and keep your supporting leg square to the mat. So we're not lying on our side, we square to the mat on the elbows, but you can also come up onto the same hand as the side the roller is on. And we're going to roll along that inner thigh. You can position the foot on the mat or on the foam roller and get right into the hip, right into that area there. Do another 2 and 1 more. Position the foam roller underneath the knee and you're going to extend and bend your knee. 4 more, and 3, 2, your last one. You can hold it in that extended position and just using your hand, rock forward or side to side, pushing and pulling the roller. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's come up and over to the other side and repeat this release. Knee up on the roller. You can either bring your foot onto the mat or keep it on the roller. Hand on the mat or elbow on the mat. And roll right into the hip. Nice and slowly, try and focus on getting a little bit deeper rather than moving too quickly. Deeper into the groin there. Do another 2 and 1. Good. Hold it on the knee and like we did on the other side, bend and extend that knee and just let your breathing happen. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold that leg in the extended position and using your hand, pull and push the roller, and you're rolling above the knee, below the knee, over the knee, the inside of the knee. If this is quite painful for you, then either stay above the knee or below the knee. If a little bit uncomfortable, then try and work through that discomfort. Finish off and bring both knees on either side of the foam roller. Hands underneath the shoulders. Try and relax your feet so you're not curling the toes under. We're going to breathe into our arch. As we exhale, we're going to squeeze the foam roller, tuck the tailbone under, round the spine, lift the knees up off the mat, and just bounce into this exhalation, into this lifted position. When you can't exhale anymore, drop the knees and breathe yourself into that position again, opening up. Squeeze the roller, exhale, push and tuck, and bounce. You got 2 to go. Breathing in. Hug the spine with the shoulder blades. Exhale, tuck, and bounce. Finish off with 1 more. Breathing in. The more you exhale in this rounded position, the more you're going to activate the abdominal muscles and release. Curl your toes under
Push up into your pyramid or down dog, and just staying in this position, walk your feet to your hands and come into a seated position at the base of the foam roller. Make sure you're right at the base and roll down onto the foam roller. Make sure your head is resting on the roller. Open up your elbows in line with your shoulders and palms are facing up. You may not be able to get your elbows onto the mat, but in whatever position they are in, bounce them into this open position. So here we're trying to hug the foam roller with the shoulder blades. Just bounce. Let your breathing normalize in and out through the nose. Slow, steady breaths. Okay, if you can get the elbows onto the mat, then do so. Palms are facing up. We're breathing into our arch. On the exhalation, rotate your forearms. Palms are on the mat or the floor next to the mat. As you exhale, similar movement to what we did earlier when the shoulder blades were on the foam roller. You're tucking, bringing the hips this time closer to the rib cage. Let's arch, breathe in, opening up. Then exhale to your tuck. You should feel the weight in your feet getting lighter as you exhale. Come into the tuck. Let's do one more. If you want to continue in this position, do so. If you can, run the feet like we did, pushing the lower back. Make sure the lower back is firmly planted in the mat, in the roller, so you're not putting any strain there on the back. Breathe in and exhale. And run the feet. Keep exhaling and breathe in and exhale. Run the feet. Okay. 4 more. Breathing in and exhale. Three to go. And exhale. Run, 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 run. For the last one. And exhale. Okay, feet closer together. Right knee up over your hip. Right elbow on the mat to stabilize you. Extend your left hand up to the ceiling. Come onto the ball of your left foot if you want to. I'm going to try challenge you a little bit more just now. We're going to breathe in and lengthen out. Exhale and bend. If you can, you're lifting off that left foot. You're balancing on your right elbow and on the foam roller. So you're really focusing on engaging your core muscles. Squeezing, breathing in, and then exhale. If your stabilizers are not cooperating, then keep your left foot on the mat. Exhale to center. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. 4 more. If you find your lower back is lifting off the roller, then don't lower your right leg as much when you take it into that extension. Finish off with 2 more and exhale for the last one. And exhale. Release the left elbow onto the mat. Extend the right hand up to the ceiling. Your right foot you can bring onto the mat if you need to, that big toe. Otherwise, you're balancing on your left elbow. Left knee over the hip. You can drop the right slightly. But again, just see what's happening in your lower back. If you need to lift that foot, if you need to lift the knee up, then keep pushing the lower back down into the roller. Breathe in and lengthen out. Exhale and release. 7 to go. And exhale. Breathe in and exhale. And exhale. 4 more. And exhale. 3 to go. And exhale. 2 more. And exhale for your last one. And exhale. Keep the knees over the hips. We're going back onto the previous side. So right elbow stabilizing you in the mat. Left hand up to the ceiling. We're now going to keep the knee over the hip. Then we're going to extend back into that lengthened position. So breathing in here. Now if you can, I want you to lift your chest up off the roller. So you're coming into a chest lift and extending that arm forward. This is your exhalation. Breathe in and come back to the beginning. Exhale there. So we're breathing in here. Exhale into that lifted position. Lower down and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. That chest lift is optional. If you want to continue with the previous exercise, you can do that. And if you can challenge yourself with the left foot, do so. Otherwise, you're dropping that foot onto the mat. So you're breathing in and exhale. And breathing in and exhale. Let's do another 3. 2 more. For the last one. Release the right foot. If you want to, the left leg is up or the left knee is over the hip. Extend your right arm and your left elbow is stabilizing you on the mat. We're breathing in and exhale. Keep that leg extended and then breathe in and exhale to release. Challenge yourself if you can. Lift that right foot. Breathe in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. For 3 and exhale. We're going to do another 4. Breathing in. If at any stage your stabilizers are not cooperating, then release your left foot or your right foot, onto the mat. Finish off with 1 more. Keep your legs lifted, so knees are over your hips, feet now as close to your tailbone as possible. Both elbows are stabilizing you on the mat. Bring your hands flat onto the mat to assist. Otherwise, you can bring your little finger and you're going to push into your little finger and your elbows. This is a great one to activate the back arm line. So we're breathing in. I want you to lift into that arch position, so you're opening up over the diaphragm. Breathe into that space you're creating. As you exhale, push the lower back into the roller. Extend your feet up to the ceiling and now open up. Try and open up as much as you can. I'm a little bit restricted because the wall's right next to me. Breathe in to arch. Exhale, push the lower back down. Try and lift up into that tuck position. So you're not using momentum. You're pushing the knees up to the ceiling, engaging your glutes. Extend your feet, open your legs up, feet together, bend your knees and breathe in. Arch into that position. Exhale. Keep exhaling, open up, bend, and only now do you breathe in. So with that exhalation, you're getting a little bit deeper into that contraction. Extend, open up, feet together, and breathe in. Exhale. Extend, open up, feet together, and breathe in. 4 to go. Get a nice flowing movement going. 3 more. Last 2. One more. Okay, let's just extend the feet, keep the lower back on the roller, and just open up and bounce into that open position. Open up as wide as you can, flexing your feet, turn your toes down to the floor, and pulse into that open position. Good, let's bring the knees and the feet together. Lengthen one leg out, lengthen the other leg out. Stretch the arms up next to the ears. Have a nice big yawn and stretch. Rock from side to side. Use the back of your hands to push off the mat. Bring the feet flat. Breathe in to arch. Exhale to tuck. Reach the hands to your knees and try and keep the feet on the mat. Breathe yourself up into that lifted position, but use your hands if you need to. And well done. Thank you for joining me. Remember, movement is key. If you don't use it, well, you lose it.